Hello, welcome once again to Stiff Right Hand. I'm the Dominator, Stu Allen. My guest this week is from the EWW Academy, Dean Joshua Jackson.
When he bangs old Tanya, he shoots a gallon. It's your podcast host. It's Big Stu Allen.
Enough of that bollocks. Hello, thanks for joining us once again on this, our 19th episode of Stiff Right Hand. I'm here with my wife Tanya.
Hello, I'm Erin All.
And let's get straight down to business. So, as a lot of you will have seen this week, we've caused, there's been quite a storm on social media due to a lot of allegations of sexual misconduct in the UK wrestling scene with a former well-known wrestling promoter and young girls involved in the wrestling business, in training, and also just fans. So I know a lot of people. I like to keep this podcast pretty positive as much as I can, but I'm due to the fact that I was one of the main whistleblowers on this, and due to the fact that EWW is now very much a home for people who have suffered at the hands of this guy, who have come forward and now have a safe place to enjoy wrestling, to participate in it and to watch it. It's very much our responsibility to talk about it. So Tan, I just think we should get this shit out of the way and get onto the fun stuff afterwards, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't discuss it this week.
We had I was contacted last night by someone who sent me, I'm not going to name the person, but sent me a Twitter link to a young girl who'd come out with lots of screenshots from this person. Now this person, Dedler we're going to call him, he has been linked with several girls from his promotion who he had basically plied with alcohol, got them drunk, sent them explicit photographs of himself.
I think it's worth adding at this point that these are underage girls.
These are underage girls, yeah. These are girls that, 15, sort of 15-year-old girls. So this isn't just your usual, sexting and horseplay and all that sort of stuff. This runs far deeper and darker than that. So one of these girls who came to us, she's now one of our main girls on our merchandise team. Her and her father, who I had to literally drag back into the wrestling business because they were not so much scared but disillusioned because of everything that they'd put up with and people calling them liars and this and that and the other. That was followed by, again, then one of our trainees, who came to us and with exactly the same story.
And her sister.
Again, with this isn't just hearsay. This is proof. This was with screenshots, and basically nothing. Nothing was really done about it, was it? Until
I think it is worth talking about at this point that nothing was done about it and why nothing was done about it. Because let's call this girl JB. So JB come to us with that story. Yes, we blew the whistle, but nobody listened to her and nobody took her seriously or her story seriously because at the time Dedler, as we're going to call him, was still running shows under the guise of a different brand, that he's sold on, and I'm not going to mention because I don't want to damage their reputation further than he has. What has absolutely struck me during all of this is everybody's compliance during that time and how lots of people knew it was going on and everyone was still so happy to work with him, to enable him, to drink with him at the detriment of those girls, those poor girls who were taught the lesson that no one's ever going to fucking listen to them or believe them. Well, we listened to them. And we believe them, and I will always be there for those girls because it's so important that if you're going through something like that you have somebody that fucking listens and believes you. So anyone that fucking worked for that cretin then or now, fucking knowing that you are a piece of shit. You are the lowest piece of shit from the bottom of my fucking heart, and I wish you all the very best of fucking cancer in the future. because you are disgusting.
The problem is all these people were like fucking all they are saying, oh, you know, he's got a bit of a drink problem. He's got, you know, he drinks. He's straight in the bar drinking with all the young girls afterwards and wanting to be a party boy and then, you know, follow some of the girls home and all sorts of different lewd fucking stories that we heard until we found out it ran deeper. And some of the guys who, you know, some of whom I've had on my show, who I've said, listen, I'd rather pay you double what he's paying you not to do his fucking show. Still went and fucking did it.
And I was actually there when you said that, so
yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah, and I said to some of these guys, you know, I don't want you to, you know, and they were there and they heard the testimony from said girl in our fucking, well, where we're sitting right now, in fact.
Yeah, JB sat in our
and she was crying and sobbing and you know, these guys who then went and, you know, went and worked for them the next day because it's, you know, it's a wage, isn't it? Well, I said, well, what if you guys have kids one day and, you know, it's your daughter? Do you know what I mean? And is wrestling and for a fucking 50 quid payday that fucking important, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's I've had people on this podcast who I've said to them before, and is there anything you don't want to talk about? And they've said, oh, we don't want to talk about him. Okay, so you don't want
to me that they knew.
Which means that, hey, if I haven't even mentioned him and you don't want to talk about him, that you fucking know something shady is going on and that you've protected him, therefore you're complicit in all of this. And it's the same with all of those people, it's the same with all of you wrestlers who say you didn't know, you fucking knew. You thought it was a bit of a laugh, but you know, oh yeah, he's a bit of a perv, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, what if that was your daughter? Okay, so I'm here to say, fuck you guys. And if any of you see me on shows, which no doubt you will, you got something to say about it, step up, because you will get knocked the fuck out and humiliated and ashamed in front of your peers. Because I do not fucking suffer that shit at all. Yeah, so many people afraid to fucking come out and say anything. I'm not. I've got nothing to lose at all. Because the proof is all here. The police have been well, I know the police have been involved with that other girl.
Yeah, we have to be careful what we say regarding anything to do with the police, but the police are involved regarding let's call her RL, regarding that girl and her screenshots and her experience. And I know that now that JB and also our sisters, should we call them, actually working with her and the police.
It's been a long fucking process, and I understand people have said to me, well, you know, why is the dad, you know, not doing enough? The dad's a very good friend of mine, and I said, look, you know, he's been for a lot. He's, you know, if you can't put yourself in that position of being a father if you're not a father. And hold on a second, and you can't mentally put yourself in a position of a father who is having to hold your family together while some or horrendous trauma like that's going on. So everyone deals with things differently. I said I'm here to help you, and I'll be by your side, and I'll stand in front of you, and I'll protect you, and I'll do whatever is necessary. So I like to think that I've taken, you know, I've helped that family out, and I've taken any fucking unnecessary shit out of the equation. But this is, as we see, still going on. There's more stuff going on tonight, and as we speak, there's another tweet from another girl, 15 again, that one of the people who hang around with this guy and wrestled for him as part of a tag team. Now that we've got another girl coming out saying that she had relationships with him when she was 15 and was told she wasn't allowed to hang around with him in public, hold hands with him, or be seen with him in public. But so that's another girl who's come out tonight with that. This is
this runs deeper than you think. I'm going to tell you now, and we're going to be rocked over the next few days as to who comes out. I mean, this is going to be very big. Going back to your point regarding JB's father. I would say anyone that has a comment or a disparaging remark or something shitty to say regarding him, he didn't know where he could turn to for the longest time, and he was betrayed by a business where we should all be family. So it is little wonder to me that his actions have been the way that they are. I think that it is important now that we give these girls a voice, and we listen to them and we take them seriously. And I think that it is time to start making examples. I think it's time to start battening down the hatches a little bit, because we're all going to get dragged. The business that we love is going to get dragged through the mud here. And I think, and I say to anyone that runs a training school, anyone that runs a show, if anyone is involved with this or has been around this, or there is any inkling to the fact that they would have known and carried on just for a payday, fuck them off your shows. Don't get tarred with the brush, and send everyone that same fucking message that we will not tolerate this behaviour, this nasty, grubby, predatory behaviour. I saw on Twitter a fucking disgusting tweet trying to discredit the girl straight away, saying, but she sent him nudes. If you petition an underage girl to send you nude photos or fucking sexual picture, anything like that, you are soliciting a minor to send you pornography. That is, you're a paedophile. You are a nonce.
Yeah, and I like the way they fucking wrote it off as well with that.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter, because she was 15 years old. She's not legally able to give fucking consent. She's not allowed to send pictures of herself naked until she's 18 years old. So it's statutory rape. And also soliciting pictures of a minor, which is paedophilia, guys. Okay, so you can fucking try and victim shame, victim blame, and try and blame these girls and put it on them as much as you like. The fact remains that there are those of you out there who have enabled a paedophile and a rapist, and I hope it weighs so fucking heavy on your conscience. So heavy. Because, do you know what? We've got this voice, we've got this platform, and we're never, ever, ever going to stop shouting about it. Ever.
No, absolutely. I'm never going to fucking leave this cunt alone. And like I say, the amount of people who are willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and that, I'll name and shame every single fucking person if I have to.
Yeah, well, the list is growing, so try us.
Try us, man. And this had to stop somewhere. It stops now. And like I say, yeah, it's been a difficult couple of days. Obviously, she's, she's having a fucking hard time. It's all risen to the surface again, and then now all of a sudden these people coming out saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I should have believed you. I'm sorry, it's a bit too late."
No, you should have fucking believed her. You should have.
We've been. Well, I brought this to light like back in 2014. So I mean, this has been going on for a long time, and now all of a sudden there's girls coming out, and I'm sure there will be more. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It's dreadful. It's fucking awful. And then you've got people going on there. I read this morning some of the old school saying, "Oh, well, wrestling's been full of nonsense for years." Is that all right then? Is it? That's okay, is it? Just because years ago everyone wrestled for some of the old nonce wrestling promoters who were into the boys. And it was all a bit of a laugh. Well, hey, yes, brilliant. Fucking well done, you.
Well, it's not a laugh for those fucking girls, is it?
It's not a laugh for. I wouldn't imagine it was a laugh for any of the boys on the other end of that. On the other end of that either. But of course, back then it was all fucking black humour, and you could call a spade, and this, that, and the other. And the job's full of fucking nonsense. Oh, very funny. But sorry, it ain't funny anymore. And like I said, we've seen firsthand what it's done to these girls, some of whom we've literally had to drag back into wrestling halls again, and sort of nurture them and help them and their families. Why should they fucking not be involved in wrestling anymore? If they love it and they want to watch it, they want to participate in it, they don't need to think that the whole wrestling industry is full of cunts. They need to know there's some good people out there, and some people with a backbone strong enough to be able to come out and say what needs to be said.
So I'm just going to throw it out there that anyone that's listening to this, if this applies to you and you want a safe haven, you want to get in touch with either me and Stu and just talk about things or whatever, we won't be judgmental. We will support you. We will help you.
Yeah, we ain't going to name names on here. I'm not all about that. I'm not going to expect I'm not going to be interviewing anyone involved with this. That's not my job. That's down to the fucking police. But if you want to, like I said, if you need to get in touch with us or you need any guidance of any form, we are here. We've helped people in the past. We will continue to do so. We're not going to turn a blind eye. Wrestling isn't our life. We have other strings to our fucking bow, and one of them is the ability to fucking help people and provide a safe haven for them.
And I just wanted to chime in and just say that to all of the girls at the minute that I'm helping through this, I am so fucking proud of all of you. Like, you are strong, you are badass, and I will see you through the end of this and beyond, and fucking bless you girls, because you're so fucking strong, you don't even know it yet.
Well, there you go. We'll end on that. So I don't want to fucking people were expecting to come on here and listen to me discuss this topic, and we have done, and hopefully things are going to get sorted out. But like I say, I'm expecting more things to come out.
I'm not going to be surprised. There's a long ass fucking list.
Right, so with that, I'm not gonna fuck around anymore with any more topics. We can get onto that later on. I'm gonna go straight on now to my Skype chat I had earlier on today with one of my trainers from the Extreme Academy of Wrestling, Dean Joshua Jackson.
And everyone's seen his penis.
Oh God.
Giving you your weekly dose of a kick in the nuts, this is Stiff Right Hand.
Well, I'm strolling here with a good friend of mine. He's one of my trainers from the Extreme Academy of Wrestling. He's got a very interesting backstory. And hello, Dean Joshua Jackson.
Hello, mate. Yeah, interesting backstory somewhat.
Well, it was when you came and said to me, I fancy doing a bit of this. I thought, well, today's going to be a controversial episode anyway, so you seem to be the man for the job, really.
Yeah. After what's happened, it's sort of relevant, isn't it?
Well, it's nice to have you back in the wrestling game again. We parted company for a little bit. Like I say, some who know you, some who don't. You wrestled as Stefan Hard for LDN and several other promotions around the UK, and had to take a little bit of a hiatus. But you're back now, and you've got a very you're very heavily involved in what we're doing with Extreme World Wrestling. You're one of my head trainers at the academy, and also you're one of the leaders of our new faction, The Unknown. So just to get things started, mate, could you give us a little bit of a backstory on how you got into the job?
I always was a fan when I was a kid, you know. I think that's how we all start. And then I remember watching, I think it was like a Royal Rumble or something like that, and fell in love with it. But then really didn't do anything till I was about 23, 24, so quite late.
Yeah, you got into it late, didn't you?
Very late. And then I went to Dropkicks Wrestling School just as Tony Scarlo had just gone, Frank Reimer still had it, and John Ritchie was training. And I walked in there as a sort of young 20-odd-year-old and knew nothing, but fell in love with the way they train and the business and everything, and the rest kind of went from there.
Yeah, because you've got a real... it was nice to see, because obviously when I remembered you from years ago, when we weren't really that close many years ago, and you were a lot skinnier then, you were quite green. But like when you came back, and I know you'd been doing a little bit of stuff with Johnny over at the Maidstone Academy, and he said, give him a chance. He said he's looking well now, and he's really changed his style. And then when you came down and started doing some of the mat wrestling with the guys, I was fucking well impressed. You've you leaps and bounds. You're like a different person when you come back.
I was green as fuck because John used to look after me big time. Obviously we tagged together, and he took me under his wing and sort of told me what to do, what not to do, and when to do it and when not to do it. And I think we weren't close because I was just so fucking green, and I was like, I'm intimidated by that big dude over there. and I remember the first time I got in the ring with you, give me a pump handle slam, and I was like, he could pick me up with like one arm if he wanted to. So it was
But
good.
yeah, it was like I say, it was lovely to see you sort of still had you had certainly more passion about the job, but like I say, it was almost like you'd shed a skin in a lot of ways because you came back and you had rather than because before all I remember you doing was like loads of fucking high spots and high cross bodies and fucking tilt wheels, and then you came back and you were fucking doing some lovely old school techniques. So it was a totally different person.
I think it was nice because I went and trained with Justin that used to train at LDN.
Justin Richards?
Yeah, Justin Richards. And
I always said Justin was one of the greatest teachers I'd seen, and he was so natural.
Yeah, and he taught me... obviously, John gave me a really good foundation, and I will never forget, everything he taught me. And Justin just showed me sort of some extra stuff and showed me a sort of a different way. I love technical. I like technicals. What for me is what works, what it's all about, and old school stuff.
Well, it stands out. You can tell a mile off. It's like because it took me a long time to get Tarn into loving that style and now she does. It's when she does her sparring, it's like it's like the old saying about the human chest and that. But it's the wonderful art of grappling, and you can see those who really fucking love it, and that was very evident when you came down.
I think it's a beautiful thing when it's done really well. 450 looks great, but at the same time,
depends who's doing it.
That's fucking true. Yeah, I've seen some wrong ones there, but. The technical stuff is just again depends who's doing it, but when it's done well, it's fucking beautiful.
Like I say, we're blessed to have some wonderful wrestlers. I always try and keep my guys grounded, and when they're getting a little bit comfortable under my tutelage, I like to pull the rug out from under them a little bit. Like I said to you, we had Doug Williams come down, and we had Danny Boy Collins come down, and then. We had Tolly Plested, the shoot fighter came down, and like I say, I want to keep doing that. Like I say, with people like yourself, and some of the all-star boys like like James Mason and people like that, and a lot of these guys who are in the twilight of their wrestling career, who have very much got a lot to offer the younger guys, because if we don't keep these old school... I was talking to Doug about this because he's only got like a year left, and he's saying if people like us, not so much me because that's not really my style, but I want to try and encourage others to learn that style of British wrestling, because it's not just because it's in vogue and it's very current. It's because if we don't fucking do it, it's going to die out.
Totally, it's tradition. Like it's tradition, and any sort of new kid that I meet that wants to train, they say, I was watching this and that the other day, and I go, do you know what? Go to YouTube, go and look at Johnny Saint, go and look at Dave Fit Finlay, go and look at people like that, Steve Gray, and watch and learn that, because that is
I could watch a Steve Gray, Mal Sanders, or Johnny Saint, Dave Finlay. I could watch those like all day, every day.
Well, you see these guys that do all the high spots, and I was green as fuck when I started. Used to do all that kind of stuff. But what are you going to do if the ropes break?
Yeah.
What are you going to do if the ropes break? Oh, you're fucked. Right. So learn to wrestle. So.
Yeah, well, exactly right, and it's so fucking important. I want to get on to your interest in alter ego. Because some people will know, some people won't know that you are very. In fact, most people will have probably busted a nut watching you, because you have been for many years a star of adult films.
Yes, when you said alter ego, I thought, which one?
I didn't want to talk about the other one, but no, like I say, a lot of our readers, a lot of our listeners will have no doubt be familiar with your penis from watching Brazzers on their mobiles and their little sitting in their mum's basement bashing one out. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into living most men's dream, please?
Okay, I met a girl when I was like young, and this is not when I got into it, but I was like 16, and the girl, she was 16 too, and then we were together for a couple of years. She had a boring job, I had a boring job, and she said, I want to be a stripper in a lap dancing club. And I was like, fair play, you're good looking, crack on. It kind of snowballed from there to Top Shelf magazine for her, then her doing a film with a girl, and then she came to me and said, this guy's asked me if I do a film with a guy, but I said I'd only do it with you. And I think we were like 21 at the time, and yeah, that's kind of how I ended up doing what I was doing.
Because I mean, we're not talking sort of, we're talking. It was fairly high end stuff that you were doing, wasn't it? You were certainly a big earner.
Oh yeah, I used to work for. Well, you name them, I've worked for them, whether it be private, TVX, Playboy TV, anyone like that. But although you say live every man's dream, and I would never change what I've done, it was fun and all the rest of it. Anyone starting, because it's too late for me, I can't change it, but anyone starting and thinking about going down that road now, all I'd say is think about it. Because
you had to, I mean, it sounds all very fucking glamorous, because I remember you fucking whizzing around in like Ferraris and shit like that. And you were living the fucking the old girls in cars gimmick, weren't you? But I mean, it was, but for a really young age, with all that money, it becomes an awful lot of pressure as well, I should imagine, doesn't it?
Yeah, it comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of. It's a bit like wrestling. You're only as good as your last match, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You're only as good as your last sort of shoot. So you know, pressure with that, and also, money, meeting. Let's say the industry's full of a bunch of vulnerable people, male and female. So that's kind of
that's interesting. Explain that more. Explain.
Everyone has got a story. Everyone that ends up in the industry's got a story, whether it be they didn't have a good childhood, whether they were, and I don't mean like abused or anything, but would just have a good childhood. Some were abused as well as children, and then feel the need to take control of their life, and I'm in control of who I have sex with, and but secretly you're actually probably still messing your life up a little bit and messing your head up because you're not straight. A lot of the guys go in and just go, I just want to get my knob wet and earn some money, but I think more so the female side of the industry usually has sort of some sort of history or issue, unfortunately. Especially when you actually sit down and talk to some of them, because obviously you don't get to spend much time talking as such, because you're not on a date. But when you actually go on a car journey and you sit down and talk for a bit, you go, "Oh, really? Wow, you've been through the mill a little bit, and that's sad." And that's obviously a side of the industry which people don't see,
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a good thing, because that would really kill my wank, if I'm honest with you. but how do you? I mean, this is completely for a layman here that I'm talking with someone who doesn't know the industry. How do you switch on and off from being able to do that? Because I should imagine, does it not kill your personal life with your partner if you go home and like, how was your day at work, dear? Well, I've done fucking everything, so
you could easily, if you work in a chocolate factory, what do you want to do when you go home? Eat chocolate? No. But with that, it's slightly different, because you have to...
Wonderful analogies.
You have to respect the fact that your partner, wants to possibly do that,
Yeah.
And you can't just go, well, I've been doing it all day, so no. Which is difficult. It puts a strain on a relationship. When you're single, it's hard when you go out, because if you go out to a bar, you end up talking, hey, how are you? Yeah, what do you do for a living? Oh, such and such. Oh, really? And you get a big responses from, oh, you dirty bastard, to, oh, I just want to have sex with you because you've probably got a big knob. So you get a mixture of responses, and that's unfortunately quite sad. It makes your life quite difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. I remember the first time I met you, I didn't have you pegged down as that at all. I mean, it's... I remember when you said it, I just thought you were ribbing me. Do you know what I mean?
I think people were shocked, because I am quite Well, when you get to know me, I'm quite a shy chap. But believe it or not, no one ever fucking believes that. But when, like, if we were in a situation where I actually liked a girl and wanted to go chat her up, I just got no balls, man. I sit there and go, oh, what do I say? So I am quite shy in that respect. But obviously, in that environment, when you say, how do you switch on and off? I suppose I kind of had a character. You know, like you go through the curtain,
yes.
and your character kicks in, and that's it.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you, exactly. Yeah. Was there any... was there any likeness to the wrestling business other than going out there with a boner?
There is that. There is actually, you know, someone says action and, you know, you're there. Same thing. You know, you hear your music hit and you're there. So it's the same in that respect, because you do put on a character. My I suppose alter ego for that kind of adult industry stuff was quite a cocky prick. Because that's how I got through it. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm here to shag and I'm here to get paid.
Is it true? Is it true about the women earn, you know, so much more than the guys?
Yeah, they earn more money than us. Yeah.
I guess that's fair, right?
Yeah. Well, what are people buying it for? The majority of people are buying it for because they want to see the girl. You're a prop. You know, you're your fodder. We're talking wrestling.
Yeah, in many ways. Yeah.
So if we were trying to get a guy over, and you know, we'd put him on with someone and let him obviously beat him, because you want to get that guy over. Well, we're trying to get the girl over as a product. Well, you're just an accessory to getting that girl over.
So, where was the worst place you blew your spot?
Oh, mate!
No, I'll set myself out for that.
There is a horrible film out there where I worked, and I'm not going to name names. I worked with this girl who just like did absolutely nothing for me whatsoever, and I struggled my backside through the whole scene, you know, but we got through it, and that's the worst place. And it's this TVX series, something to do with Asian girls or something. I can't remember what it's called, but I always remember the girl, what she looked like, and everything, because it was the worst place ever. That's what I was
going to say. Does there have to be any kind of connection, or do you just have to get ripped off your nuts on Viagra?
some I tell you what, some days you could turn up and go, yeah, she's all right, but it's not really my cup of tea. But then you can sit down, you know, you might get 5 minutes before just to have a chat, 5 minutes of banter, and you go, actually, she's quite attractive because of personality and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
Of course. And then, of course, yeah. And then other days, yeah, like that day, yeah, I was Viagra off my nut.
Oh, cool, man. Well, it was nice to. It was nice to get that all out there. I think most people would, if they're honest with themselves, would like a little trip down the curtain to see about that. So thanks for that nice little mucky insight there. So going back to the old wrestling, obviously coming into Extreme World Wrestling again, you probably weren't expecting to have such a big role as you've got with the teaching side of it. How are you finding that at the moment?
I love it, and you're right that I didn't expect to have a big role. Like I was doing stuff with John. Obviously, I kept going down to John's school because obviously we knew each other. And I in a way, I said to John, I want to go down to Stu's school down in Hastings because I want to show you. You know, what I'm about now. You know, and he was like, yeah, cool. And I was shocked at how you know what, I feel so I don't want to get emotional, and I think it sounds like I'm going to. I was shocked at how fucking appreciative and how you made me feel. You guys are so welcoming. You're so lovely. Anyone that has ever met you or can obviously back that up, and you and Tanya were just like, yeah, cool, like, do you want to take a little bit of the session? And I was like, oh yeah, if you want. Like, and I like teaching as well. I like seeing people, you know, learn and progress and get stuff. And
I could see that as well, because I just wanted to I was wanting to give you a little go, and you can see straight away. I mean, my father was my father was a golf professional, and he was a teacher, and he taught people from a very high level to a very base level, and he was always very good at spotting things in people. And I think that's one thing with me, I'm able to spot if people are naturally good teachers, and you can tell you were really enjoying it. And I've watched you with some, we've got some very natural students at the academy. We've got some who are very, very difficult and hard work at the academy. But on both levels, you've proven your mettle with that, and I think you're very, very good at it.
Well, I appreciate that, mate. And learning's a tough thing. Sometimes people get things easy. Sometimes it takes people a little bit longer. And I got all the patience in the world for people as long as they keep trying. Which the academy, you guys are great. Like every student down there, they try their hardest, and it goes to show that they're getting on the shows and stuff, which is good.
Well, it was great that time. I remember I can't remember who it was, but one of the guys or girls said, "I can't do it," and tried to get out of the ring, and you were like, "No, fucking get in there," and you just wouldn't have it. And I remember looking at Tarn and giving her a little smile. I was like, "Yeah, this is it. This is great."
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if you accept defeat before you even tried, then you're gonna fail. You know what I mean? So you know what? Keep going. Even if we have to break it down into little stages of what we do first, and then that's the next spot. Then let's do that. But you're not getting out until you fucking got it. You know what I mean?
And it's nice as well because it's like I say, you're always excited to learn yourself. So it's like you and I looking at videos and stuff, and we're always trying to throw new bits in there, like that lovely little Regal roll the other week that you did, and like you and Ken and like just bosh jumped up, picked it up, and gave the guy something new. And the one thing I was most impressed with was probably the fact how you managed to get the students' trust straight away. They really enjoy being taught by you as well, which I think is lovely.
Yeah, I think that comes from they obviously trust you and your judgment, and if you say Dean's going to take the session, then obviously I think that comes as a reflection on you.
But had you.
Yeah, it was nice to learn that whole.
We've had you doing some real fucking like some of the stuff that you've been doing was obviously stuff that I can't do, like things like victory rolls and that. So. Like we said about I've thrown you into the deep end with a lot of these. He says, "Right, Dean, off you go up there, mate. Down there." And it's been great.
When you said that, I was like, I've not done a victory roll in about fucking 5 or 6 years, but okay, thanks, Stu. But but it was nice because they a lot of them got it. Some of them got it sort of bang on really well, didn't they? And the ones that, we carried on the week after, and some of the others that didn't get it that week got it the week after. So, it's really nice. I just like watching. I loved learning, and I looked at people that I learned from, like Justin and John Ritchie, and I was just like, yeah, man, I look up to you, and I'll do whatever you say to learn, and that's kind of what I kind of like seeing in people, and when they do learn, they really, thanks, mate, I really appreciate it. And that's the other thing down at your school, they all appreciate, like, the hell out of the business, the whole respect thing. It's good because you can see that you've sort of installed that in them from
Absolutely.
sort of... which is lovely. So
you've got to have a it's a struggle to drag yourself out on a cold fucking January Sunday afternoon when you'd rather be having a carvery or doing whatever. Do you know what I mean? So to have a lovely bunch of students who love soaking and sponging all that shit up is a joy, really. So like I say, it's nice to be able to share that with you. What obviously you got into the game late. What are your what are your goals from here on in with it? What would you like to get out of it?
To be fair, you obviously came up with a new kind of story for me. When I came back, you went, "I want you to be part of the unknown," and I was like, "Oh, great! What's the unknown?" And we went from there. And mate, that kind of lit. I don't know, maybe relit a fire under me, or definitely threw fuel on the fire. I kind of now just like working for people that I like working for. Like people, there's certain people you go, I really like working for them, and that's where I'm kind of going. I'm kind of only working for people that I like working for, and at the same time, people that I enjoy working for. And if I feel like I can add, you make me feel like I can add so much to EWW, training the guys, and as being part of the show, you gave me a great opportunity, and I was like, yeah, give it to me. Yeah, that sounds great. You know, as soon as you told me about it, I think I went home and ordered gear and shit like that for the new character, and bugged you and sent you designs of tops and shit like that, and you was probably thinking, yes, Dean, I only mentioned it to you today, but fuck off. But you know, I was that excited about it because I wasn't necessarily bored of what I was doing, but it was nice to just get something new to go, all right, that's new, and I can get my teeth into that, and that's fun, and it's nasty and heelish, and I'm generally hey, I'm a face, I'm going to slap all your hands and be nice. So it was nice to do something completely different.
It was nice, and it worked straight away, didn't it? We had your debut in front of 800 odd people in the where was it, the Sussex Coast College Station Plaza, and it was, oh Christ, it was loud.
Mate, I loved it. Like, obviously the first time we walked through the curtain, you know, once they realised that we weren't there to be very nice, that it was great. And then the second time, we never had to do anything. You got booed. You know, bear in mind we're coming out, no music, no nothing, just invading, and yeah, I loved it. Like, I remember me and B-Ray being behind the curtain, and as soon as we walked through, booed, and he went, fucking hell. And I was like, yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah, and I was watching it from up in the I was watching it from up in the balcony, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's worked. That was you had him by the bollocks. That was great.
And that night, you know, a couple of people done some really nice things for us. Obviously, like Exodus done a fucking amazing job for us. You know, we unmasked Exodus, which, you know, he'd been masked for, I don't know, what, 8, 9, fucking 10 years. And then you've got AWOL, fucking amazing, fucking, yeah, you know, he was covered.
Did the Ric Flair blade?
He was covered in claret, wasn't he? And I remember picking him up and going, fucking hell, he's bleeding like a motherfucker.
Yeah, man, he was fucking pissing.
Yeah, but I loved it, and, you know, I appreciate the hell out of that, because without people doing stuff like that, you don't get that kind of, fucking hell, we hate that guy, look what he did to, you know.
Well, Dave's a great team player, do you know what I mean? He's, you know, you get guys that just are out there for, you know, for themselves, and then there's old Dave, and he's a safe pair of hands, and he was so excited when I said to him, I want you to do this. He was like, fucking and when he came through out the back, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. He was bleeding like a motherfucker. It was all over my jeans and everything. I was like, I don't care. But yeah, it was brilliant. I loved it, and I can't thank you guys enough as well for just going, you know what, here's this, you want to do it, and trusting me, and then obviously them guys doing that kind of job for us was amazing too.
Well, we got a big year coming up, dude. Like I say, we got our academy shows as well, which are also a big part of, obviously, because not only are they me and Tom's babies, but like I say, you've you're playing a very influential part in their wrestling upbringing, so it's lovely to have you there for those as well.
I appreciate that.
And is there anything else you wanna plug or whatever while you're on?
No, just obviously, I got my Twitter, I suppose, which the new character hasn't got many followers, but Cyrus underscore.
No, he's a horrible cunt. That's right.
Because he's horrible, no one likes him. Cyrus
coming and smashing baseball bats over everyone.
You're going to let me fucking plug it or what? No, still have no followers. Cyrus underscore shade underscore EWW, and that's on Instagram and Twitter. So go and follow them to find out what that nasty bastard's doing. Yeah, and I can't wait for the next show, obviously March 24th. And
good plug. That's the first plug that shows that. Yeah, so well done.
There you go. We're going to talk about the other stuff, or are we going to leave that to you? Are you talking about that?
What other stuff?
Oh, the stuff that may have popped up on social media today.
Oh no, man! We're going to get to that. Me and Tarn. That's been just unbelievable.
Fucking disgusting.
We're obviously, we ain't naming names. Everyone knows who it is.
Yeah.
We've got other stuff that's popped up tonight as well. On Twitter, you'll get to hear about that as well. It's bad, it's seedy, it's upsetting. Most of all, I feel kind of, I was saying to Tarn earlier, I've kind of feel some sense of justice for the family where it all started, because there were so many guys that just wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and carry on just for their poxy 30 quid or whatever the fuck he was paying them.
Yeah.
So to have these people come around and say, oh, yeah, well, actually, you know, as you're right, but it's just a little too late now.
Yeah.
I know people are saying, oh, you know, because obviously there was Shaky and fucking Mad Eli back in the day, who obviously had their histories and that, and everyone sort of looked at them almost a little bit, without wanting to, they looked at it almost a bit fondly, like, oh, you know, the good old Nancy days. And it's like, but it's like, no, that's not right. Do you know what I mean? You're having to almost re-educate everyone and say, no, you should be fucking ashamed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, disgusting. But don't go to his shows. Don't work for him. That's all I've got to say about that.
Exactly right, brother. Exactly right. At the very, very fucking least. But there we go. But dude, thank you ever so much for your time. Thank you on behalf of everyone at the Academy for everything that you carry on doing. So I know you're not a local man, so like you have to make that fucking journey down in your funny little.
Don't slag me car off. Don't slag me.
Oh no, dude, it's still better. It's still better than my fucking car, brother. I ain't got no room to be talking. It's like when Jonky takes a piss out of my car. Goes, yeah, from your car. I'm like, yeah, well, what about you? What car do you drive, motherfucker? Jonky and his little pedal car. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But no, like I say, you do a hell of a lot of mileage, man, and just from me to you, just wanted to let you know it's thoroughly appreciated.
Well, I appreciate it, and you know what? If the school and the students and you guys weren't so lovely, I wouldn't jump in my car and sit in it for 2 hours to get there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. But thanks ever so much for your time tonight, brother, and we shall look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
I'll see you Sunday. Yes.
Huzzah.
Okay. Good stuff.
God bless you, my man.
Cheers, bud.
Tutty bye.
Bye.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth, you cock jazz. This is Stiff Right Hand.
Back here in the room of doom, Stiff Right Hand, and there's my interview there with Dean Joshua Jackson. Nice boy, isn't he?
Nice, clean, shiny boy.
But not clean.
No, dirty and perverted.
Dirty boy.
Wrong. He's a wrong 'un. He's a dirty, naughty wrong 'un, and he needs to go to bed by himself.
He splidged his splodge on your splodge.
He certainly didn't.
Well, in many women's splodges he
Yeah,
did.
but not mine. That's not an invitation.
I've done actual wank over one of his videos once, and you know, you get, well, you don't, but your brother blokes listen, you know, when you get to the old luxury stroke, when you know you're about to fire one off, and then all of a sudden it cuts to the geezer's close up his face, and you're like, no, I don't want to come now because I'm gay. It makes me gay.
That's not what being gay is, darling.
I know, but in your head at the time when you're about...
a little bit gay for Dean's penis?
No, but when you're about to shoot your muck all up the wall, and then the shot cuts to the dude, or just his cock, and you think to yourself, oh, you feel shortchanged.
Did you ask him about that?
Didn't ask him, I told him. I said, I've done this to you on at least 3 occasions.
I wonder if he's had a wank over you, probably.
Well, how else do you think you got the job? Right, so anyway, readers' questions.
Yeah, it's that time of the week where we do.
We haven't got a jingle for that. Perhaps we can get
readers' questions are really shit, and they're annoying, and they're probably ones we've already
readers'
been
questions.
asked.
They are here. They came to us via social media.
Readers' questions. What have I done? Why do I ask them for questions?
I want to kill myself. Right, go on then.
Right. So start with Andrew Mayhew.
Who?
Andrew Mayhew.
Mayhew.
Mayhew, be quiet. Who would your dream opponent you would like to face, past or present? Who would be, there we go, your dream opponent you'd like to face, past or present?
Nicely read, Spaz.
Yeah, I know. I can't
Who's they talking to, you or me?
Well, it's on my status, but I've already answered that question like 6 million times, so...
But I can't remember it.
Just someone...
Why do people always ask that question?
I don't know. It's a bit of a Susan question, isn't it?
Well, it is a little bit. It's like fucking. It's today's Operation Stew Tree. Couldn't you have thought of something more meaty to discuss? I like Operation Stew Tree.
Yeah, that's a good operation.
I'm watching all of you nonsense. I am. The question. Do you know what? I'll answer it. Bruiser Brody.
That's a good one.
For me, Bruiser Brody, when he used to come in the arena. and he used to chase those little Japs. Can I say Japs just did? And he used to chase those little fuckers around the arena, throwing chairs all over the place. I'd have loved to. It just gives me goosebumps watching it. I'd have loved to have been in the ring waiting for him, seeing that chaos going on. I'd have eaten that up. Brilliant. Okay, next.
Right, Peter Elliott would like to know Big Daddy or giant haystacks? Neither. Klondike cake.
What, love, marry, avoid?
Yeah, you have to marry one and kill one.
I didn't like Big Daddy very much, and Giant Haystacks was a lovely man, however, so, yeah.
I concur.
You'd never met either of them.
No, but Giant Haystacks is like a bit doodaloo, isn't he? Like he'd be...
Big Daddy wasn't very nice to me at all, and I thought he was thoroughly miserable. Giant Haystacks...
Big Daddy looks like he's got one of those like equator stinks.
Whatever, but he wasn't particularly nice when I was getting into the business, but Haystacks was a very lovely, kind man. So, yeah, Haystacks.
Okay, so Santa, or he who shall not be named on this podcast.
Who's sending these questions?
Loads of people have.
Bunch of bumholes, do better ones.
Gam Sardiner, because he's got the because we never mention him on this podcast and we never shall.
Gam, how are you, Gam?
Gam,
good old Gam.
My good mate Gary.
Who?
Gary.
Oh, I remember him.
Gary Gardner.
Yes.
Anyway, he'd like to know who the fuck is Debbie?
Oh no, I don't even know if I want to explain the story behind that. Go well, you can if you want.
I'll explain.
I'll see if you can do this without fucking upsetting anyone.
I don't think I can, to be honest. I had the ump for some reason, I don't know. And
yeah, because I was flirting with a little
person. Because it was after the... Can we say dwarf? Is that okay? I'm going to say dwarf. So Stu was flirting with a dwarf on one of our after show parties, and somebody asked me, I asked everybody where my wine was, and somebody said it was by Debbie, and I reacted really aggressively for some reason and went, who the fuck is Debbie? And this tiny woman appeared from behind a piece of furniture and went, I am.
She was like a lovely
and I
little...
wanted to die because she was so nice.
She was like a tiny little... you can't say midgets, or little people.
Yeah.
She was like a little person, Princess Diana, but not obviously before the crash.
She's much too classy to be hanging around with that Chris Mans, let me tell you.
Yeah, but like Chris himself said, when Chris pulled up that day and she jumped out of
the
huge car and she dropped out of the car, it's like Chris always says, any of Chris's parties are always like the Star Wars canteen. It's a great description. That's from his own mouth, and that's like only Chris could suggest that, and that be on the money. Not suggesting, I have suggested there that little people belong in the Star Wars canteen.
Well, you have, and that's rude.
Not as rude as thinking she was a fucking spider plant, like what you did. Anyway, we're lousy hosts, and I offered to have sex with her, and I think I frightened her off.
Yeah.
But anyway, that party didn't go as planned. And next question.
Richard Getlevog.
Oh, yes. Get him to the vlog.
Get him to the vlog. Who is the Susan person you always talk about? Well, Susan is a bitch, and Susan is my antithesis, and Susan is my most hated, maligned enemy of all. And she
doesn't exist, by the way.
No, she doesn't exist, but she's every basic fucking idiot person.
So if you're stuck behind some dickhead who's a woman in a car and you go, come on Doris, get a move on, or behind some bloke, come on Slow Joe, get a move on, that's Susan.
Yeah, that's Susan.
So
Susan's the woman on any thread that makes it about how she's a mother.
She's the woman who's a mother, probably her best days are past. She probably feels comfortable in Crocs and has a Lego haircut or a haircut that screams, I'd like to speak to the manager.
Yeah, she comments on pictures of cakes that they give her diabetes. That's Susan.
Yeah, what a cunt.
Fuck you, Susan.
I want to uppercut her.
Fuck you, Susan.
Yeah, I want to punch her out of her fucking
Susan?
shoes, stupid bell-end cunt face.
Fuck you, Susan.
Next question.
Stupid little bitch.
Prick. Go on, what's that? What else?
Do you think you can make to 1,000 days as champion, Tanya Allen?
What?
That's from Lee Andrew Morgan. If you're in...
Does he mean Bellatrix?
That ship's already sailed because
you lost after 950.
950 days.
Pay attention!
And you should be paying attention to this.
Jesus.
If you mean AWW champion, I'll fucking give it a crack. Why not?
Answer is no. Next question.
That's just fucking
Come on.
I think you should say sorry.
I'm not saying sorry, so, I'm not. Come on, next question.
Don't demoralise me on the podcast.
You need it.
Because
you're getting too big for your fucking boots.
because you've seen Dean's penis, isn't it? He's your new favourite.
I'm
on to you two. I'm on to you.
His
and I don't
penis
much
is better
care
than
for
yours.
it. His penis is better than mine.
Listen now, come on.
Mine is bigger.
I'm growing weary.
Matt Holt would like to know, should WWE start entering World Wrestling superstars, not just WWE superstars, into the Wrestling Hall of Fame? I say no, but they kind of already do that with celebrities anyway. I just think that they shouldn't do that because WWE shouldn't be the be-all and end-all.
They do, though. They have been inducting people who aren't just in WWE, like the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, but they shouldn't do it more, should they? They do it on
I think they should. Do you know what? I think like all of a sudden, they'll pull out someone like, I don't know. I know Mil Mascaras was in WWF or whatever many years ago, but some people that haven't been, who I think they should, because I'd love to see Adrian Street.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
I'd dearly love to see Adrian. I'm not just saying it's unbiased. But Adrian deserves to be up there.
Well, let's get a thing trending. Let's have hashtag Adrian Street for Hall of Fame.
He does deserve it, just because he was groundbreaking in so many ways, and I'd love to see that.
Also, I love him. He's great.
He's wonderful. But so yeah, the answer definitely yes.
Okay. Liam Dow, that little piece of shit pile of washing. Where the fuck is he when we're doing another podcast?
He don't know
where
we
live. Biscuits.
He's forgotten where we live.
Yeah.
He's stuffing his cock into a fucking trifle.
As usual. Liam would like to know, have you got a backup bacon sandwich in your briefcase?
He need to shut the fuck up, son. That briefcase story's getting old. These questions have been awful this week.
No, they're not getting much
Is this just because once when you open the briefcase, I think our listeners have heard this story before.
They have heard the story.
You open my briefcase and there's a dry, half-eaten bacon sandwich in there.
No, it was a bacon sandwich I made you that morning with one bite taken out.
Yeah, it was one bite. I wasn't very hungry.
Why was that?
Nerves, I
suppose. Chinny wreck on. Mark Paz Parry would like to know, pink or brown?
What is it? We playing snooker? Pink, 6 points.
Yeah, pink. Agreed. He'd also like to know.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
He's such a twat.
Paz Parry would also like to know favourite footballer and who's better, Pele or Maradona?
That's shit. But
I don't give a fuck.
My favourite footballer of all time, Thierry Henry. Just unsurpassed quality.
And who's better, Pele or Maradona?
Pele.
Okay. Megan Dow would like to know, what kind of bear is Stu? Grizzly? Polar? Panda? Teddy? He's all of the kinds of bears, all rolled into one to make one kind of super bear. One bear to rule them all.
This has gone south.
I'm telling them what kind of bear you are.
A caramel one.
Yeah, and a Care Bear. And
not a Care Bear.
A bad news bear. No, I'm actually scared of the Care Bears. They make me a little bit frightened.
How dare people insult me with these questions?
You are all the kinds of bears. So there you go. Right.
Tell me these questions.
Brett Meadows. Scrat Brados. Brett Meadows would like us to please go to Urban Dictionary on the podcast and you and Stu read out the meaning of twerping and do a role play from the descriptive piece that goes with it. You're welcome.
Oh, God.
Okay, right, let me open a screen.
Twerking, like dancing?
Twerping.
Oh, okay.
As in you are twerp? I don't know.
You're a twerp.
You're a twerp.
I've never heard of... I've never heard of...
Okay, Urban Dictionary. Oh, for fuck's sake. Twerping is when someone gets their rocks off by sitting in a warm bath, then they begin to fart. Then the individual will bite at the fart bubbles or try to catch them in their mouth.
Oh, get the fuck out.
This act can be enjoyed by couples, but is not always a solid foundation of a relationship. Right, let's do the role play. You be Alison and I'll be Bruce.
Is this a fucking thing?
Do it.
So, what are we going to do tonight, honey?
Well, dear, I'm going to run a bath and twerp for a few hours. I've just had corned beef for lunch, so this should be one I've been waiting for.
Do you still find me attractive? Can't I satisfy you anymore?
Can't hear you, dear. I'm twerping, remember?
Oh, fuck me.
And Brett, you are welcome.
That is fucking... I don't believe anyone does that.
I believe Brett does that.
So what, you got a belt one off in the bath?
No, you fart in the bath,
Yeah.
and then the other person catches the fart bubbles in their gob. You have to bite the bubble.
Oh, fuck that.
Twerk.
I'd do that to myself.
No, why is it, right, when you fart in the bath, it always smells worse?
Oh, it always smells of like cabbage water.
Yeah, it's horrible. Alright, oh, here we go. Liam would like to know N or B. Choose.
Oh,
I'm going to choose N.
fuck's sake. Yeah, got an N for me as well.
And Hakan, Captain Peng himself, would like to know if we can have, or if they can have our opinion on this. And what he's done is he sent me, I think it's H&M, but it's a link to a sweatshirt that has caused some controversy. Mm-hmm. It says coolest.
This is always
monkey,
good for radio.
It says coolest monkey in the jungle.
What?
And it is being modelled by a child of colour. And I think he wants us to discuss whether that is like they're going for the obvious racist implication there, or whether everyone should calm the fuck down. And I think that...
I don't know, my immediate thought was shock at seeing that, but then I don't know if that's because...
But it's a kid's sweatshirt, like kids are little monkeys. I think perhaps...
There's no way that's ever going to take off.
I think
no way.
Perhaps...
There's no way. I'd eat my own...
wrong model.
I'd eat my own car.
Because that's made an implication that perhaps it's a racial slur.
Listen, I was fucking worried tonight because I had my fucking gorilla wear shirt on and I was standing there behind two black guys and turned around and looked at them and was like, alright, I'm fucking wearing gorilla wear. And that was by accident.
Yeah, but you do actually look like you are a silverback.
There you go.
That's fine. That's
yeah, but I think, no. I think, to me, very brave. Cool way of getting rid of all that snowflake shit.
Yeah, it's a great way of dealing with that. Apparently they've pulled the advert on their online site due to a massive backlash calling it racist. I don't agree that...
Only white people have probably said that.
Yeah, I don't agree that they intended that sweatshirt to be racist, but I think that in an era of virtue signalling and everybody being like, oh, look how not racist I am, I think it is a problem in that climate.
Was that the last question?
I fucking hope so.
Well, good, because that's led me on nicely to... I just want to...
Yeah, it is.
Finish up with the Oprah Winfrey thing. Because that really incensed me, and that kind of leads on nicely from that, and also to our topic at the opening of the show with people jumping on bandwagons when it's too fucking late. And she came on and did a great big speech at the Golden Globes, which was like, she started it off. She did the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart slow build up. And it wasn't women of colour, it was women in show business and blah, blah, blah. And every woman deserves a chance, blah, blah, blah. And then started going, it was the Harvey Weinstein thing. And this is unacceptable, blah, blah, fucking bam, 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 pow, big crescendo. Everyone on their feet, oh, she's going to be the next fucking president, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. Oprah Winfrey is a fraud. She has always been a fraud. She collaborated and conspired with Harvey Weinstein for nearly 5 years on projects. And only now, when the guy's been hung, drawn and quartered, does she want to come out and be the fucking voice of women? I think that's disgusting.
Does it honestly mean to tell me that she didn't fucking know?
Exactly,
all that time?
exactly.
Come on.
Again, it goes back to our subject earlier on of, it's all very well people coming out and saying shit now, but don't do it for effect. Where was she? She was taking his Oscars, taking his millions, etc., etc. And fuck, you Google it. If you want to be smart, there's stuff out there, guys. Look at it for yourself. But she's Oprah Winfrey, I think, is a dangerous motherfucker.
Well, another thing, it's like, why America just stop with this fixation of, they can be president, you've had a reality TV fucking star as your president. It's not working out so great, is it? You don't need another.
This is how stupid it is that they're already talking about the next presidential race being between Oprah Winfrey and The Rock. And I'm not even joking.
Well, I think The Rock would be a great president.
Yeah, we would, because he's charismatic, he's lovely. We don't know what his policies are or anything about him, but he might be an absolute bellend.
I think America needs a female president. I think it doesn't need
But that proves the point that charisma wins overall. You know, a nice smile, a good set of abs. Hey, he could be president.
Yeah, but
that's what sort of fucking world we live in.
Man, though, is he? That's not.
What does it matter?
Every president of the United States has been a white man. Apart from about Obama.
Yeah, what?
What? I'm talking shit.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, they need to have a female president. Like, America needs a female president, and I think it needs to be Michelle Obama.
And Michelle Obama won't ever run, and America will never have a female president. I don't think in our lifetime ever. But there you go. That's my opinions on Oprah. Don't drink her Kool-Aid, guys.
Oh.
She's fucking. I think she's an absolute fraud. And just to finish on, apparently WWE have run out of ideas for Bayley. And
who gives a fuck? Like, what were their ideas for Bayley?
I never got that. I never understood that. I always thought she looked a little bit borderline.
Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Well, a little bit Spectrum, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Oh no, she can wrestle. It's just like, I don't know, just never.
She's okay. She's not. She's.
I just feel like she would always do better. Just like, get back on the indies, girl.
Well, she's gonna. No choice. But anyway, it's been an interesting episode this week. We've flown through everything. It's been there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been all sorts. There's been general erections. There's been many things in between. Is there anything you want to say before we sign off, dear?
No, not really.
Okay, well, look, until next week, we've got some wonderful guests coming on. We've got that Liverpool scamp, Frankie Sloan. We've got from ECW, Nova. And we've got some great guests coming on over the next few weeks. So, hey, stick around, stick with Stiff Right Hand, subscribe, love us, share us. And in the meantime, don't go mad.
And don't do any nonsense, eh? Leave the girls alone. Seriously.
Leave those girls alone.
Fucking hell.
Toodle pip.
Watching you.
If you have been affected by another subject matter or topics covered on this week's Stiff Right Hand podcast, please call 0800 Go Fuck Yourself.